Ever since this pandemic began, the internet has been full of people offering advice and lessons on how to learn new skills. If you're like me, you have seen in your Facebook feed these lessons on how to bake things, how to make your own sourdough starter, how to do yoga. And all of that is great for those people. If I'm being honest, none of those things really have excited me. But I want to show you what does. Now, as many of you may know, that Rabbi Bess and I have had this set of airplane seats for quite some time. However, if we're being honest, they never worked quite right. You see, when you buy a set of airplane seats, they don't come with a plug that you just put into the wall. These things are kind of special. They run on 400 hertz, three-phase, 115 volt power. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay, because when I got these things, neither did I. Which is why when I did get them running, it was never all that great. And by that I mean that, yeah, they worked, but they made this awful noise and the electronics overheated to the point where you could only really have them on for about 10 minutes at a time. And even then, when you did, you were always a little worried that your tuchus was about to catch on fire. But that's the way they remained, because that was the extent of what I knew how to do with them and about the amount of time and energy I had to deal with this. Because if we're being honest, on my list of priorities, on my to-do list in the real world that was before this pandemic, getting these things to work any better, it wasn't not only high on the list, it wasn't on the list. But of course, that changed. So over the last few weeks, finding that I did have some time, I did a little research. Actually, I did a lot of research. I did enough to realize that the piece of equipment I needed was an aircraft grade 400 hertz, three-phase inverter, static inverter, running a pure sine wave. Now, okay, that's one part. Why was it so complicated to figure that out? Because like I said, the internet is filled with how-to videos on how to make a sourdough starter. There is no one on the internet, until now, telling you how to wire up your airplane seats. So why am I showing you this? Is it to impress you? No. Now, I do know there are a few people who are going to think this is really cool, but I also realize that most people watching this are going to be wondering, why would you do that? And that is the point. So many of the things that most people find obscure or boring, those are the things that for each of us can give us a tremendous amount of joy. The internet is full of these lessons right now of things that we all kind of agree we're supposed to learn how to do, how to exercise better, how to cook better, how to learn a new language. And if those are the things that give you joy, that's great. But maybe it's something else. Now, I shared what it is for me. I can't say what that thing is for you, but you can. And now more than ever is the chance and the opportunity you have to go explore that and make the most of it, one day at a time.